Dear students, you have learnt about some problems on the increasing and the decreasing function. So, I have given you the definition of the increasing decreasing function, and then a theorem has been specified. I have given you the statement of a theorem, with the help of which we will be finding out whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So, here general definition is, as x increases, if y also increases, it is increasing. As x increases, if y decreases, it is a decreasing function. This is a general information, general definition. So, when you take an interval, in the interval how does it behave? Depending upon that one, we can say increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, strictly decreasing, or neither increasing nor decreasing. And we have worked out some problems in which we have solved such problems. Now, in today's session, I am going to work out some problems in which it would be given either it would be strictly increasing or decreasing, but our problem is to find the intervals. So, that is a common instruction. Find the intervals in which the given function is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. You might observe that in the earlier problems, the interval were given, you were finding out whether during that interval where the function, whether it is increases, it is increasing or it is decreasing. Okay. Now, here function is given, you have to find out how does it behave and in what is the interval, and in that interval how does the function behave. Let me take the first function f(x) equal to f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. The instruction is common for all the problems, x square minus 4x plus 6. Now, you can see that it is a second degree polynomial function. Now, for everything to know whether it is increasing or decreasing, we should have the knowledge of the derivative. So, that is why it is an application of the derivative. So, x square becomes 2x and 4x becomes 4. Now, you know that f dash x is greater than 0, it is strictly increasing. F dash x is less than 0, it is strictly decreasing. F dash x is exactly equal to 0, then we call it as a constant function, that is nothing happens at that point, that is it is neither increasing nor decreasing. So, to know that value, let me equate the first derivative to 0, that is 2x minus 4 is equal to 0, that implies 2x equal to 4 or x would be equal to 2. We have done one problem, such problem in the previous session. There the interval was given -1 to +1, it was an open interval. So, we got a value of x in between and we divided that interval into two parts. Here no such interval is given, but this number at x equal to 2, we are getting f dash x equal to 0. So, at that point nothing happens, neither increasing nor decreasing. We are interested to know the other two cases, when it is increasing, when it is decreasing. So, here this number, the point x is equal to 2 divides, you can write the number line or the real line, divides the number line into two parts, two intervals, not two parts. The correct word is two intervals, that is -infinity comma 2 and 2 comma infinity, that is from the least value to 2 and from 2 to the maximum value. Okay, and it has to be an open interval, because when you take a closed interval at 2, it is exactly equal to 0. So, we cannot take that possibility. So, it is -infinity to 2 open interval, 2 to +infinity. Now, one by one we will find out. So, let me take the first interval, that is in -infinity to first interval, whatever any one you can consider in the beginning. In -infinity to, how does the first derivative, this is the first derivative, how does it behave? Will it be negative? Will it be positive? For that better you give a value. You give a value which lies in that interval, so that you can write the exact conclusion here. Any value which belongs to this one, -infinity to, that is a number which is less than 2. Better, if it is possible, better you give an integral value. See, that can be done in the working column. Suppose I give x is equal to 1 because it is less than 2. Then what happens to f dash x here? Right? F dash x would be 2 into 1 minus 4, that is minus 2 less than 0. We are not interested in the exact value. We are interested in the sign of that one. Will it be negative or will it be positive? So, by giving x equal to 1, which belongs to this interval, I got the value of f dash x to be a negative number. So, if f dash x is negative, what is our conclusion? The function is strictly decreasing. Therefore, first you write. You can show that in the working column, right? In minus infinity to f dash x is less than 0. Therefore, the function, see, looking at the value of this one, we give the conclusion with respect to the function. The function fx is strictly decreasing, in what interval? In the interval minus infinity comma 2. That's a question I have asked you. Find the intervals in which it will be strictly decreasing or strictly increasing. So, one part is over. Now, let me take the second interval. What's the second interval here? The second interval, write it as 2. In the second interval, 2 comma infinity. You just give a value which is more than 2 because 2 is not included. So, let me take a value if x is equal to 3. If x is equal to 3, what is f dash x here? 2 into 3, that is 6 minus 4 plus 2, that is greater than 0. Any value you can give. Give as far as possible a smaller value so that you can easily find out whether it is negative or positive. So, write it here, f dash x is greater than 0. Therefore, the function fx is strictly increasing in the interval 2 comma infinity. This is the answer we wanted. See, you have to find the intervals in which either it would be increasing or it would be decreasing. So, this is how we have to solve the problems. So, first, when the function is given, as soon as the function is given, you just consider the derivative of that function. Now, let us move on to the next problem. The next function is f of x is equal to 2x square minus 3x. See, in the previous problem, the value of x was an integer. Now let me differentiate. F dash x is 2 into x square becomes 2x, that is 4x minus 3. Remember, this is required to verify whether it is increasing or decreasing. Now, let me take the first derivative to 0, b equal to 0. That is 4x minus 3 equal to 0 implies x is equal to 3 by 4. X is equal to 3 by 4. So, this is the point where the number line can be divided into two parts. So, how do you write? The method is same here. For all the problems, the procedure is same, only the function would be different. Depending upon the function, the degree of the function, you may have only 2 intervals or 3 intervals also. You write that one. X is equal to 3 by 4 divides the number line or the real line, both are correct, the line into how many intervals? 2 intervals. When there is only one point, there will be 2 intervals. 2 intervals, that is minus infinity comma 3 by 4 open interval and 3 by 4 comma plus infinity. So, negative value to up to 3 by 4. From 3 by 4 up to the maximum value plus infinity. Now, let me consider the first interval. Now, in the interval minus infinity comma 3 by 4. See, in the previous problem, I had an integer there. It was easy for you to verify. No problem, we will verify here also. So, let me consider, let me give a value. So, you have to give a value which should be less than 3 by 4, isn't it? See, you can give a value 0 also, that is easier, isn't it? 0 you give. Then, if x is equal to 0, what is f dash x here? F dash x is 4x minus 3. 4 into 0 minus 3, that is minus 3 less than 0. That is in 0, minus infinity 3 comma 3 by 4, we have seen that f dash x is less than 0. What is our conclusion? Immediately you write, therefore, fx is strictly what? Strictly decreasing. Strictly decreasing in what interval? In the interval minus infinity comma 3 by 4. Or when they have asked the word, find the interval, no, you write like this. Sometimes, no, they ask you like this, find the values of x for which the function increases or the function decreases. Then the same method you follow, but you can write the answer in a different way. Suppose they have asked you to write the answer like this, find the values of x for which the function decreases. How do you write? For all x less than 3 by 4, strictly less than 3 by 4, because it is an open interval. So, that way also you can write, for all x less than 3 by 4, the function fx is strictly decreasing, okay, or for all x greater than 3 by 4, depending upon what result we get here. Now, let me take the second interval. What is the second interval? In the second interval, in 3 by 4 comma plus infinity. Now, a value slightly greater than this one, 3 by 4 greater than this one, let me take the number 1, whole number, it's easier. So, what happens to f dash x here? You observe f dash x is 4 into 1 minus 3, 4 minus 3, 1, that is greater than 0. See, slightly greater than 3 by 4, certainly it would be a positive number. Why I am taking that value is, it's easier for us to find out, okay. Now, you write here, f dash x is greater than 0. Therefore, write the conclusion, fx is strictly increasing, strictly increasing, strictly increasing in the interval 3 by 4, in the open interval 3 by 4 comma infinity. Okay. Here also again, if they had asked you to find the values of x, you can write, for all x greater than 3 by 4, function increases. For all x less than 3 by 4, the function decreases. Now, let me consider another problem. In the next problem, here in these two problems, I had considered a quadratic, second degree polynomial, isn't it? So, when I differentiated, equated to 0, I got only 1 point. So, because of that 1 point, I got only 2 intervals. So, I could discuss in both the intervals how does the function behave. Whereas, in the next problem, I am having a third degree polynomial function, that is f of x is equal to 2x cube minus 3x square minus 36x plus 7. Now, here the method is same, but the calculation part would be more, because when you differentiate a third degree polynomial function and equate it to 0, the derivative, instead of getting a simple equation, we get a quadratic equation. So, naturally quadratic means there would be 2 values for x, hence we will be having 3 intervals. So, first let me, the common instruction to find the increasing and decreasing intervals here. So, let me differentiate here, f dash x would be 2 into 3x square, that is 6x square, 2 into 3 into 2x, that is 6x minus 36, okay. Or you can write it as, take out 6 as common factor, x square minus x minus 6. Now, I hope you remember this one. Let me factorize this one. x square minus x minus 6. Now you have to factorize here. Look at this number minus 6. The middle number is minus 1. So you have to split this number in such a way the product is minus 6, the sum is minus 1. So if you split it as minus 3 plus 2, when you multiply minus 6, when you add minus 1. Therefore it is x square minus 3x plus 2x minus x minus 6. So simplifying, factorizing, in other words taking out the common factor, we get here x minus 3 into x plus 2. So this is factorization. So I can write here f dash x is equal to 6 into x plus 2 into x minus 3. Remember, this step is important because to find out whether the first derivative is greater than 0 or less than 0, we use this particular statement. Now, to know the intervals, what we had done in the earlier problems, we had equated the first derivative to 0, isn't it? So, let me take the first derivative to 0. Let f dash x be equal to 0. When f dash x is equal to 0, how do you write this one? That is 6 into x plus 2 into x minus 3 equal to 0. 6 cannot be 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to plus 3. So, here instead of 1 point, how many points did I get here? I got here 2 points. So, 2 points means how many intervals would be there? There would be 3 intervals, right? X is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 3. Divide the number line. Divide the number line into 3 intervals. Okay, that is, first one we start with the negative number. Out of these two, minus 2 is smaller, isn't it? Minus 2 minus infinity, first interval. Next one minus 2 plus 3. Okay, and third interval 3 and plus 3 to plus infinity. So 2 and 3 are in between points. Minus 2 and 3 are in between points. So the least value to minus 2 to 3, those are value, and 3 to infinity. So the number line or the real line will be divided into 3 intervals. Now in all the 3 intervals, in 2 intervals means in one it may be increasing, in the other one it may be decreasing, isn't it? But here I am considering 3 interval means each one I have to verify. In one it may be increasing, in the remaining 2 may be decreasing, or in 2 it may be increasing, 1 may be decreasing. That only after calculating, after verifying, we will get the information. First, let me take the first interval in minus infinity minus 2. In minus infinity minus 2. Now, look here. I have to give a value. See, by looking at it, by looking at the first derivative, we find difficult to get the conclusion. Therefore, I told you it is better to give a value. Even if a rough sheet also you can give. So, it is better you consider like this. Now, give a value which belongs to the interval. Minus 2, you take the next, as far as possible, the integral value. You take minus 3. You can take any value which is slightly less than minus 2. I take a value minus 3. Now let us see how this f dash x behaves. F dash x is 6 into minus 3 plus 2, that is minus 1. Minus 3 is minus 6. I think that much of arithmetical calculation you can do. Minus into minus plus. Okay. So 6 into 6, it becomes a positive quantity. So f dash x is positive. That is, when you take the interval minus infinity minus 2, we get the first derivative, or f dash x is, what did you get here? We got a positive quantity. I am telling you repeatedly, we need not find any exact value. Some random value which belongs to that interval you have to give to know whether it is positive or negative. Write that one. In that interval, f dash x is greater than 0. So, greater than 0 means it is increasing. So, you write that one. Fx is, therefore, fx is strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. In which interval? In the interval minus infinity minus 2. So, this is the first part. Now, what is the second interval? Minus 2 comma 3. So, one by one we will be discussing all the intervals. So, one interval is over. Now, let me consider the second interval. So, in the second interval minus 2, 3. Now, look at the interval. One is negative, other is a positive number. Minus 2, 3, isn't it? In between, which number comes? 0 comes, isn't it? If you get 0 in that interval, better you write the value. Right here. If x is equal to 0, come to this one. F dash x will be equal to 6 into 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. Look here, minus plus, minus into plus into plus. So, this would be negative, less than 0, isn't it? When minus into plus, it is negative. So, you write here f dash x is less than, strictly less than 0. So, what is our conclusion? It is fx is strictly decreasing. Is strictly decreasing. Okay. Now, come to the last interval. What's the last interval? 3 comma infinity. 3 comma plus infinity. Now, let me give a value which is more than 3. More than 3 means, let me take the value say 4. Then, how is the sign? What's the sign of the function? F dash x here. 6 into 4 plus 2, 6. 4 minus 3, 1. So, whatever it is positive. Don't worry about the value. We are interested only in the sign of that one. So, you write it as f dash x is strictly greater than 0. So, greater than 0 means conclusion is it is increasing. Therefore, you write fx. Here f dash x, here fx, conclusion is strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. See, we had 3 intervals here, isn't it? Minus infinity minus 2, minus 2 plus 3, 3 plus 3 and plus infinity. In the first and the third intervals, the function was strictly increasing. In the middle interval, the function was strictly decreasing, isn't it? Therefore, you can again combine the result and write the answer like this. See, in minus infinity minus 2 and 3 comma infinity, fx is strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. And one more way of writing also, you can use here the union also. Here and there, that's the meaning, or you can write like this, both are correct. And what's the other interval? In the middle interval, that is minus 2, 3, the function is strictly decreasing. So, this is how you have to write the answer, okay. This is the procedure we adopt. So, whatever may be the type of function we come across here, see if it is a quadratic second degree polynomial, after differentiation, after equating it to 0, we get only 1 point. When there is only 1 point here, naturally there would be only 2 intervals, isn't it? So, I can discuss in those 2 intervals. Suppose it is a third degree polynomial, just now what we have done here. So, when the differentiation takes place, it becomes a second degree. When you equate it to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means always there would be two values, 2 points, and there would be 3 intervals, isn't it? So, when the 3 intervals means naturally you can find the values, I mean you can find the signs of the function in in all the 3 intervals. First you take the first interval, give some random value which lies in that interval, see whether it is the first derivative positive or negative. Similarly, you can do for the remaining. When there are 3 here, usually in 2 it would be increasing, other would be decreasing, or conversely it may be 2 increasing, 1 decreasing, or 2 decreasing, it would be 1 increasing. Now, let me try another problem here. The same instruction, you have to find the intervals in which the function would be strictly increasing or decreasing, but here the function is defined with a starting with a negative sign here, that is f of x would be minus 2x cube minus 2x cube minus 9x square minus 12x plus 1. Now, we have to discuss about this function. We have to discuss about this particular function. But here be careful about the sign. As usual, we first differentiate. Okay, f dash x is equal to, bear in mind that we have got a minus sign there, 2 into 3x square minus 6x square, 9 into 2x minus 18x minus 12, isn't it? Now, let me simplify this one. What is the common factor? Minus sign as well as minus 6 is the common factor. After taking out, all of them become positive. It is x square, 6 3s are 18x plus 2, isn't it? X square plus 3x plus 2. Now, just now I showed you how to factorize this one, that is x square plus 3x plus 2. The usual procedure is, this number is 2, how do you split? 2 and 1. When you add them, 3x, when you multiply them, 2. Therefore, when you factorize this one, it becomes x plus 2 into x plus 1. It is whatever you already learnt in the high school classes, I am just considering. So, let me write the factors here. It is x plus 2 into x plus 1. Now, this is f dash x. Now, this step is important, so better you underline that one. The reason is, when we want to find out whether it is negative or positive, we use this particular statement. That too, in this problem, we are having a minus sign. Don't take that minus sign outside, okay, minus 6. All of them should be kept here only to know which is, whether it is negative or positive. Now, to find the intervals here, as usual, let me equate the first derivative to 0. That is minus 6 into x plus 2 into x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, minus 6 cannot be 0. Equating the other two to 0, we get x minus 2 and x minus 1, correct? Now, you write the values of x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to minus 1, divide the number line, into 3 intervals, that is, be careful, 2 is greater than 1, but minus 2 is less than minus 1. The intervals are minus infinity minus 2, then minus 2 to minus 1, next minus 1 to plus infinity. See, these are the 3 intervals we have got here. There are 2 points here. So, number line means it is like this, isn't it? It is minus infinity plus infinity. Here minus 2 is there, minus 1 is there. So, here to here one interval, here to here another interval, here to here another interval. All of them are open intervals. We don't take the closed interval because at exactly minus 2, exactly minus 1, f dash x is 0. So, we cannot say whether it is increasing or decreasing because it becomes a constant, neither increasing nor decreasing. Now, let me take the intervals one by one. First interval is minus infinity minus 2. So, let me discuss about that one. In the first interval, minus infinity minus 2. What is the procedure I have told you to get the exact sign here? Let me take the value x is equal to a value less than minus 2 or a number belonging to that one. Better take it as minus 3. Now here you have to be careful because we are already having minus 6. That is why I am telling you be careful. Minus 6 into minus 3 plus 2, that is minus 1. Minus 3 plus 1, that is minus 2. So, minus 6 into minus 1 into minus 2, isn't it? So, I got here minus into minus into minus. 6 2s are 12. So, minus 2 means it is what? Negative. That means that I have got here the first derivative to be less than 0. Less than 0 means our conclusion is the function is strictly decreasing. Right here f dash x is less than 0. Therefore, this is used to find out whether increasing or decreasing. While writing the conclusion of the answer, we have to go to the original function. Fx is strictly decreasing. Strictly decreasing. In which interval? In the interval minus infinity minus 2. So, that is over. Now, come to the second interval. What is the second interval? It is minus 2 minus 1. Here, you cannot give, see always I have told you to give some integral values. Integral value means integer. If there is an integer exists in that interval. See between minus 2 minus 1, they are consecutive numbers. No integer exists in between them. So, we have to give a value which lies in between. This is 1 and 2, you give 1 and a half, that is 3 by 2. So, let me give the value, second value. Let x be minus 3 by 2. Minus 3 by 2 means minus 1 and a half, which lies between any value between that one. Comparatively this is easier, better. Okay. Now, find out whether f dash x is positive or negative. First number is minus 6, you can't change that one. Minus 3 by 2 plus 2. Minus 3 by 2 plus 2. Directly to write you may find difficult, better write this one. Minus 2 plus 1. Minus 2 plus 1. See here you are familiar with arithmetical calculation here. See 3 by 2, what do you mean by 3 by 2? 1 and a half. Minus 1 and a half plus 2. 2 is bigger, isn't it? 2 minus 1 and a half, that becomes half. That is plus half, isn't it? Look here, minus 1 and a half plus 1 here. Therefore, it becomes minus half. 2 minus 1 and a half is half. Minus 1 and a half plus 1 is minus half. Minus half minus, you need not simplify and find out here. Minus half minus plus, that is important for us. It is greater than 0. We are interested only in the sign of that one. So, it is greater than 0. Write that one here. Greater than f dash x is greater than 0. Therefore, you write fx is, what's our conclusion? Fx is strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. In which interval? In the interval minus 2 minus 1. Now, finally, we go to the third interval. So, in the first interval, it was decreasing. In the second interval, it was increasing. Let me go to the third one. It is in the interval minus minus 1 plus infinity. Minus 1 plus infinity. Now, which value we can give? look at this one. After minus 1, when we go towards plus infinity, we get 0, the nearest integer, isn't it? And it's easier to calculate also. So, write if x is equal to 0, random value I am selecting a simpler, better value, okay. Then what would be f dash x equal to? It is minus 6 into 0 plus 2, that is 2, 0 plus 1, that is 1. Minus into plus, that is negative, minus 12, it is less than 0. That means that you can write f dash x is less than 0. So, what is our conclusion? Therefore, fx is strictly decreasing. See, this is happening. See, you may observe that in the interval, right, in the interval minus 1 comma infinity. See, we had done in the previous problem, the first term was, it was also a third degree polynomial. It was plus 2x cube. So, we got in two intervals function increasing, in one interval it was decreasing. But in this polynomial function, the first term minus 2x cube. So, because of that one, here also 3 intervals we are having, but here in 2 intervals the function is decreasing. So, first decreases, increases, again decreases. In the earlier problem, increases, decreases, and again it is increasing. So, depending, that is why, see, though we got here minus 6, when you equate it to 0 to get the values of x, do not neglect that one. Only to, when you equate it to 0, we get the values of x, but this has to be remembered, do not eliminate that minus 6. With the help of minus 6 only, we can come to the correct conclusion whether it is increasing or decreasing. So, like this, any problem, so there are 3 types of problems we have worked out under this topic, this particular application. That is, first one, without giving any interval anything, if a function is given, usually in that case, no, a linear polynomial function would be given. You take 2 points x1 and x2. If x1 less than x2, we show that f of x1 is less than f of x2. Therefore, the function is strictly increasing, we can say. Suppose a second degree polynomial function is given, then if your some interval would be given to you, after the derivative, you just to find out whether in that interval whether the function is increasing or decreasing. There, for most of the problems, we make use of the statement of the theorem, that is, if f dash x is greater than 0, it is increasing, strictly increasing. F dash x is less than 0, it is strictly decreasing. Then f dash x is exactly equal to 0, neither increasing nor decreasing, we call it as a constant function. So, these are the problems I have taught you under the second application, the increasing and the decreasing function. So, in the coming sessions, I will be discussing about the other application of the derivatives. So, we will meet in the next session.